of Asmati Gurupad Padmanitala Prakshaya Guru Shishima Bhakti-Vidanta Narayana Goswami Maharaj, Rendi Swami Shishima Bhakti-Vidanta Dandi Maharaj, Namnishta Santa Shri Aniruddhas Prabhuji, all the Vaishnavas and Vaishnavis who are gathered here for the online class, please accept my humble obeisances. So here we are discussing Bhava, the sprouting of the three potencies, Sat, Chit and Ananda. Ataha Saiva Sakti Parama Parimanam Parinamam Praptavati Rati Apara Paryayo Bhava iti Akhyam Labhate Yeva Sachidananda iti Shakti Trikasya Swarupa Bhutasya Kundali Bhavam Bhajate. Thereafter, when Asakti becomes completely mature, it is known as Rati. So we are discussing the different stages of Bhakti. Adav Shraddha, then Sadhu Sangha, Anartha Nivritti, Bhajana Kriya. So like this, first Shraddha, Adav Shraddha. So Adav Shraddha, Tato Sadhu Sangha, Atha Bhajana Kriya, Tato Anartha Nivritti Sya, Tato Nishtha Ruchistata, Atha Shaktistata Bhava, Tata Prema Vidanjati, Sadhakana Mayam Premna Pradurbhave Bhavet Karma. So in Shraddha, slowly now is going to Asakti, and then when it is completely mature, it is known as Rati. Another name for Rati is Bhava. This Bhava is the budding stage of the three Swarupa Shaktis. Eternality, Sat, cognizance, Chit, bliss, Ananda. In its fully ripened state, Asakti transforms into Bhava. Bhava is also called Rati. So Bhava is Rati. Same, there is no difference between Bhava and Rati. There is one and the same thing. Bhava and Rati, they are one and the same thing. So here very clearly told that when we perform sadhan, then Rati is awakened. And when Rati becomes more condensed, it is called Prema. As Prema matures and thickens, it is known as successfully as Sneha, Man, Pranay, Rag, Anurag, Bhav, Mahabhav, like this. So, thing to be noted here that Rati and Bhava is the same, but Bhava is a term which is used twice. It's an overloaded term. Means after the stage of Asakti, it can be called Rati or Bhava. But another Bhava comes after Prema, like Sneha, Man, Pranay, Rag, Anurag, Bhav and Mahabhav. That Bhav is different. And this Rati are different. That to be known. So Bhava is the budding stage of the three Swarup Shaktis, Sat, Chit, Ananda. In other words, it is the stage in which the three energies, Sandhini, Sambit and Ladini, sprout in the heart of the sadhaka. So basically, Sambit, Sandhini and Ladini. So Sambit is knowledge potency. And then there is Sandhini, existential potency. And there is Ananda, basically. So that is very clear here. Because in Upanishad also tell about this. Shveta Upanishad describes this potency. Natasya karyam karanam cha vidyate natas samascha vidikascha drishyate parasa shaktir vividaiva shruyate swabhaviki jnana balakriya cha. The activities of the Parabrahma are not material. Krishna's activities are not material because his senses such as hands and feet are not material. You'll see that Jagannath has no hands, no feet, but actually he is transcendental. Krishna's hands and Krishna's feet are not material. Therefore, his actions are transcendental Leela. Because Krishna has no material limbs, so his actions are also transcendental. And because of his spiritual body, he is omnipresent at every moment. Now, many people ask that Krishna is just a small baby, how can he be present everywhere? Then here it is told that Krishna is omnipresent at every moment. It is therefore seen that no other is equal to him. What to speak of greater than him? So Krishna is called Asamordha Tattva. Asamordha means no one is equal to Krishna, no one is superior to him. It is heard that Parmeshwar has a variety of divine potencies, of which three are prominent. So Parmeshwar has, Krishna has many potencies, but among them the three are prominent, and these are called Jnana Shakti, Bala Shakti and Kriya Shakti. Knowledge potency, potency of the strength, and Kriya means action. These three potencies are known as Chit Shakti or Samvit Shakti, Sat Shakti or Sandhini Shakti, and Ananda and Ladini Shakti. So means they have three other names also. Samvit Shakti or Chit Shakti is also known as Jnana Shakti. Bala Shakti means also Sat Shakti or Sandhini Shakti. And Ananda or Ladini Shakti is also called Kriya Shakti. So natasya karyam karanam cha vedate natat samascha vedigasya drishyate parasya shakti vivedeva shruyate swabhaviki jnana bala kriya cha. So here Jnana Shakti means Samvit, Bala Shakti means Sandhini, and Kriya Shakti means Ladini. So here you see that Bhava is the budding stage of the three Swarup Shaktis, Sat, Chit and Ananda. In other words, it is the stage in which three energies, Sandhini, Samvit and Ladini, sprout in the heart of the sadhaka. In delineating the symptoms of Bhava, Rupa Goswami said, Shuddha Sattva Visheshatma Prema Suryam Shusam Ruchi Vishchittamasrunya Krut Aso Bhava Muchyate. Bhakti-Vidanta Sindhu, which is a paribhashik grantha, means it gives the definitions. So you can, again I'll read the definition. Shuddha Sattva Visheshatma Prema Suryanshu Samya Bhav. Shuddha Sattva Visheshatma. The Gurudev always used to speak on this verse. Shuddha Sattva Visheshatma Prema Suryanshu Samya Bhav. Ruchi Vishchittamasrunya Yad Krud Aso Bhava Muchyate. Bhakti-Vidanta Sindhu 1.3.1. That bhakti, which is the embodiment of Shuddha Sattva, which is compared to a ray of the sun of Prema. So if Prema is compared to the sun, then this bhakti is compared to a ray of it, and which melts the heart by various states is called Bhava. So when Bhava will awaken, it will melt your heart. So when the heart has softened as a result of Ruchi, taste. When you got taste for chanting the holy name, your heart will soften. Sadhana Bhakti becomes Bhava Bhakti. So what Sadhana Bhakti are doing when your heart has become soft, it is called Bhava Bhakti. This Bhava Bhakti is a special manifestation of Shuddha Sattva. Shuddha Sattva Vishesha. Shuddha Sattva Vishesha means it is a special manifestation of Shuddha Sattva. And it is a ray of the sun of Prema Bhakti. Shuddha Sattva Visheshatma Prema Suryanshu Samyabha. Ruchi Vishchittamasrunya Krud Aso Bhava Uchyate. Shuddha Sattva Visheshatma Prema Suryanshu Samyabha. Ruchi Vishchittamasrunya Krud Aso Bhava Uchyate. So basically, all these things are described. Bhava Rati is the sprout of Sthai Bhava. Sthai Bhava, Prema, and its transformations like Sneha, Man, Pranay. So Rati is the first stage. Then comes Sthai Bhava, Prema, and then after that Sneha, Man, Pranay. These transformations lead all the way to Bhava, the highest stage of Prema. With the intention of establishing this, the intrinsic characteristics, Swarup Lakshana of Bhava are described with the words Shuddha Sattva Visheshatma, a special manifestation of Shuddha Sattva. Shuddha Sattva. So this is, there are different definitions. Another version also will come, that Shuddha Sattva. Shuddha Sattva Visheshatma Prema Suryanshu Samyava Ruchi Vishchittamasrunya Krud Aso Bhava Uchyate. So Srila Gurudev is explaining what is the Shuddha Sattva. While Krishna was playing the flute in this way and the dancing was going on, all the Sattva, meaning the birds and animals, become motionless and watched and listened. So when Krishna is playing flute in Braj, then Sattva means all the birds and animals living in Braj. But don't consider them to be like the birds and animals of this world. Like when Krishna is playing flute, the birds in Braj are attracted. But they are not ordinary birds or animals in this world. The birds and animals of Golok are all Vishuddha Sattva. What is Vishuddha Sattva means? There is no trace of tamas, mode of ignorance, rajas, mode of passion, and material sattva, means material goodness in them. Even when the living entity becomes very elevated, perhaps just before liberation, still there is some trace of material sattva in him. So it means even before liberation, Even you are very elevated, there will be some material goodness will be there. But in this world, most people are tamasic, which means they are affected by
Krishna Maharaj, I'm sorry, we can't hear you.
so Harishchandra Maharaj, he gave away a great amount of charity. He sattvic, but it was mixed with rajas. Karuna was very charitable, always spoke truth, and sattvic was under envy and tendency towards violence. Bharat Maharaj showed affection to an animal, which was sattvic, but still it was not Shuddha Sattva. Only after the Jiva attains Sarupa Siddhi, means Sarupa, and will immediately enter into Vastu Siddhi, it can be said that he is Vishuddha Sattva. Bhagwan and all his devotees, Vaikuntha, whether they are peacocks or monkeys or whatever, are situated in Vishuddha Sattva. So here, Srila Gurudev is making what is Vishuddha Sattva. So here, and the marginal characteristics, that is the Lakshana Bhava described using the terms Prema Suryanshu Samyabhat, like a ray of the sun of Prema. And Ruchi Vishchittam Asurunyakrut, it softens the heart by various tests. Shri Bhagavan possesses three potencies: Sandhini, existence, Samvik, cognizance, and Ladini grace. Here the term Shuddha Sattva Vishesha refers to the essential portion of the cognizance potency, Samvik, endowed with the essential function of the great potency known as Ladini. In his commentary on the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu verse beginning with Shuddha Sattva Visheshatma, Srila Vishnu Thakur writes as follows: when while practicing the previously mentioned sadhan bhakti, the heart melts with taste, ruchi, meaning a desire to attain Krishna, Bhagavad Prapti Abhilash, a desire to do what is favorable for Krishna, Anukulya Abhilash, and a desire to serve the Lord with intimacy, Sauhardha Abhilash. It is to be understood that sadhaka has attained the stage of Bhava Bhakti. Understand? When we are practicing the previously mentioned sadhan bhakti, the heart melts with taste, meaning a desire to attain Krishna, a desire to do what is favorable for Krishna, and a desire to serve Lord Krishna with intimacy, Savarda Vilas. It is to be said that the sadhaka has attained the stage of Bhava Bhakti. So basically, three greeds will come. Abhilash means the greed. Bhagavad Prapti Abhilash. So I want to attain Bhagavan. This is a sign of clear Bhava. Bhagavad Prapti Abhilash. So Shuddha Bhakti is called Anya Abhilashita Shunyam, but there are some similar desires, they will remain. So, so in his commentary to this verse, Srila Vishnu Thakur writes, when sadhan bhakti succeeds in softening the heart by various tests, it is called Bhava Bhakti. The word Ruchi here refers to the desire to attain Bhagwan, Bhagavad Prapti Abhilash. The desire to do what is favorable for Bhagwan, Anukulya Abhilash, and the desire to serve Bhagwan with affection, Sevavad Abhilash. The constitutional nature of Bhava Bhakti is Shuddha Sattva Vishesha, which means that it is fully comprised of Shuddha Sattva. Shuddha Sattva refers to the self-manifest cognitive function of Bhagwan's Swarupa Shakti, known as Samvit Vritti, the function of divine cognizance. When the word Vishesh is added to Shuddha Sattva, it indicates Ladini. So the word Vishesh indicates Ladini, another great potency of Swarup Shakti. One should understand from this that Mahabhav, which is the highest state of Ladini, is included within Shuddha Sattva Vishesha. So Shuddha Sattva Vishesha is all-encompassing word. It begins from, say, Bhav, Prem, Sneha, Man, Pranay, Rag, and Anurag, Mahabhav, and Mahabhav. It goes up to all. Shuddha Sattva Vishesha means up to Mahabhav. Hence, Shuddha Sattva Visheshatma is that supreme function of Swarup Shakti, which is possessed of desire favorable to Bhagavan, which is the essence of the combined Samvit and Ladini Shaktis. So Shuddha Tattva Visheshatma means combined Samvit and Ladini Shakti, knowledge potency and bliss potency, and which is situated in the hearts of Bhagavan's eternal associates. Now, where is this Shuddha Sattva Visheshatma situated? It is situated in the heart of Bhagavan's eternal associates. It is one with the mood of their hearts. It is Tadatma Bhav. Means the hearts of the pure devotees and this Shuddha Sattva Visheshatma has become one. In simple words, the eternally perfect moods situated within the eternal associates of Sri Krishna are called Shuddha Sattva Visheshatma. What is Shuddha Sattva Visheshatma? The eternally perfect moods situated within the eternal associates of Sri Krishna are called Shuddha Sattva Visheshatma. The constitutional nature of Bhava Bhakti is Shuddha Sattva Visheshatma. And because it is likened to the first ray of the sun of Prema Bhakti, it is also called the sprout of Prema. So the natural function of Bhava is to manifest Krishna's inherent nature, Swarupa, and the inherent nature of his pastimes. Bhava can arise in two ways. So how one will reach the stage of Bhava? By absorption in one's spiritual practice, sadhana aviniveshaja bhava. And the second type the bhava can arise is by the mercy of Sri Krishna or his devotees, Sri Krishna Prasadaja or Sri Krishna Bhakta Prasadaja bhava. Means either by doing sadhan bhajan, if you are fully absorbed in your doing sadhan bhajan, you can reach the stage of bhava. Another way is that you get the mercy of Krishna or his pure devotees. This is a little rare. So by the influence of associating with great personalities, one engages in the sadhana of Bhagavad Bhakti. Gradually, a taste for Bhakti arises within him. He develops attachment for Bhagavan, and finally attains Bhava. Bhava received in this way is called Sadhana Aviniveshaja Bhava. Bhava that suddenly arises without any sadhana is called Shri Krishna Prasadaja Bhava or Shri Krishna Bhakta Prasadaja Bhava. Prasadaja Bhava is rare. Generally, the living entity attains sadhana abhiniveshaja bhava. Like when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was dancing in the forest of Jharkhand and he gave prem even to the deer and animals like tigers. That is Shri Krishna Prasadaja Bhava. Sometimes by the mercy of some pure devotee of Krishna Bhava may come. But it is a little rare. Generally, it is sadhana. When you have to perform sadhana, then you get bhava. So Shri Krishna Prasadaja Bhava is received by Krishna's benediction, is darshan or by a revelation, spurti within the heart. Srila Shukdev Goswami received Bhava as a result of mercy manifesting in his heart. Numerous examples of these three kinds of Prasadaja Bhavas were seen during the advent of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Bhava arose in the hearts of countless people just by receiving Mahaprabhu's darshan. People just saw Mahaprabhu and Bhava came in their heart. That was quite easy. Just have to look at Mahaprabhu with love and affection and you just get Bhava. Jagai and Madhurya received Bhava as a result of benediction. So Jagai and Madhurya are not very qualified, but they received mercy by Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu and they got Bhava. And Sri Jiva Goswami's Bhava manifested as a spurti within his heart. Now Dhruva and Prahlad are examples of personalities who attained Sri Krishna Bhakta Prasadaja Bhava, as they received Bhagavad Bhava by the mercy of Sri Narad Muni. So Dhruva was a small child, 5-year-old, and Prahlad also very small. But they received the Bhava by the mercy of Narad Muni. Because Prahlad heard in the womb of the mother Bhagavatam and Dhruva received the Dvadashakshar mantra, 12-syllable mantra from Narad Muni. Bhava was also awakened within the hearts of countless people by the mercy of Shri Rupa, Shri Sanatana and other associates of Mahaprabhu. So many pure devotees like Shri Rupa Goswami, Shri Sanatana Goswami and other associates of Mahaprabhu, by their mercy also countless people got Bhava. So this is the supreme function which is full of a desire to do what is beneficial for Sri Krishna, which is the essence of the combination of Samvit and Ladini potencies, and which is situated in the heart of the Bhagavan's eternal associates, being indistinguishably unified with the condition of their heart, Tadatmya Bhav, is known as Shuddha Sattva Visheshatma. To reiterate in simple terms, the eternally perfect mood of service, Nitya Shuddha Bhav, which resides in the heart of Krishna's eternal associates, is called Shuddha Sattva Vishesh. This Bhava Bhakti is like the first ray of the sun of Prema. For this reason, it has been called the sprout of Prema. In Shri Chaitanya Shikshamrut, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur has explained the above mentioned verse in a simple, straightforward way. Prema Bhakti is the real fruit of Sadhana Bhakti. This Prema Bhakti has two stages, Bhav and Prem. If Prema is compared to the sun, then one can understand Bhava to be like the initial ray of that sun. Bhava, the Swarup of which is Vishuddha Sattva, sublimely pure existence, melts the heart of the sadhaka through Ruchi. The continuous cultivation of activities performed in a mood favorable to Sri Krishna's well-being, Krishna Anushilana, was previously described as a generic characteristic of bhakti. But when that same Krishna Anushilan attains the mood of Vishuddha Sattva and softens the heart of the sadhaka with Ruchi, it is known as Bhava. When Bhava manifests in the disposition of the heart, Manovritti, it attains oneness with it. Although in reality Bhava is self-manifesting, it appears to be something that comes into being because it manifests itself by the heart disposition. Although Rati, another name for Bhava itself, is the object to be tested, it is accepted as the cause by which one tests the object, Vishaya of Rati, Bhagavan Sri Krishna. Here it is to be understood that this Rati is the ecstasy of spiritual reality, Shiv Tattva. It is not a Tattva belonging to this inert material phenomena. The attraction of the conditioned living entities experience for inert objects is merely a perverted transformation of spiritual Rati. It is due to their contact with dull matter. When the sadhaka in this world cultivates devotional service to Bhagavan, that Rati through the Samvit portion of the internal potency becomes the cause of his relishing topics related to Bhagavan. And through the very aspect of the internal potency, Rati bestows ecstasy, Allah upon the sadhaka. Bhava is rarely attained, Sudurlabha, and it makes liberation seem trifling. Moksha Lagutakrita. So, Bhava is very rare. So, Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu also describes actually what are the characteristics of Bhava. Shantir Adgartha Kalatvam Viraktir Mana Shunyata Ashabandha Samutkantha Namagane Sadaruchi Asaktistat Gunakhyane Pritistad Vasati Sthale Ityadayanubhava Surjata Bhavan Kurejani. When the bhava arises, the following 9 symptoms are observed in the sadhaka: forbearance, effective use of one's time, detachment, absence of pride, steadfast hope that Krishna will bestow his mercy, intense longing to obtain one's goal, constant taste for chanting the holy name, attachment to hearing about Krishna's qualities, and affection for Krishna's pastime places. So, these are the characteristics that manifest when you get bhava. So, furthermore, the bhava is said to be like the fully blossoming flower of the wish-fulfilling vine bhakti. Yameva khalu bhakti kalpa valya utfullam prasunam achakshate. Prasunam means actually flower. Valli means a creeper. Bhakti Kalpavalli. Kalpavalli means desire creeper of devotional service. Actually has one nicely blossomed flower, and that is Bhava. Yasyacha Bahyeva Prabha Sarvahi Sudurlabha Abhyantari tu Mokshamapi Lago Karoti. Yasyacha Paramanur Eka Eva Tamaha Samastam Unmulayati. Yasya Parimalahi Prasrumarahi Madhusudanam Nimantrayaniya Tatra Prakati Kartum Prabhuyate. Furthermore, this bhava is said to be like the fully blossoming flower of the wish-fulfilling vine of bhakti. Indeed, the radiance characteristic of this flower is that it is most rarely obtained, sudurlabha, and makes even liberation seem trifling, moksha lagutakum. Even an atomic particle of this bhava completely destroys the darkness of ignorance at the root. The flower of bhava emanates a charm. Srila Vishnu Thakur also states that bhava rati is like the blossom flower of the wish-fulfilling vine of bhakti. The external brilliance of this flower of bhava is sudurlabha, meaning that bhava is most rarely obtained. By one's extensive practice of sadhana and by the mercy of sadhu, guru and Shrihari, one obtains the extremely rare wealth of bhava. The internal brilliance of this flower is like moksha lagutaka. So actually, you'll see that bhava is sudurlabha. And this is the greatest wealth. If someone comes to the bhava stage, I think he has made the greatest achievement. So Bhakti-Rasamrita Sindhu 1.1.7 has told about, Sri Rupa Goswami has described the 6 special characteristics of bhakti. Kleshagni, Shubhada, Moksha, Laghuta, Krut, Sudurlabha, Sandrananda, Visheshatma, Shri Krishna, Karshani, Jasa. Shuddha Bhakti has 6 characteristics. Kleshagni, destroys all types of distress. For example, when you start chanting Hare Krishna mantra, then all types of distress goes away. Number 2 is Shubhada. It bestows complete auspiciousness. Means all auspicious things will happen in your life. Moksha Laghuta. It makes the attainment of liberation insignificant. This is the characteristics of Bhava Bhakti. Other characteristics of Bhava Bhakti Sudurlabha, it is extremely rare. And then Prema Bhakti, Sandrananda Visheshatma. It is the embodiment of condensed bliss. That is Prema. And Shri Krishna Karshani, it attracts Shri Krishna. So, in the very beginning of sadhana bhakti, the first 2 symptoms, Kleshagni and Shubhada, become visible. And when you start chanting, the 2 symptoms will manifest, Kleshagni and Shubhada. All your obstacles will go away and auspiciousness will come. But next 2 characteristics, Moksha, Laghuta, and Sudurlabha, are then manifest in the stage of Bhava. And in the stage of ultimate attainment, or Sadhya or Prema, Sananda, Visheshatma and Shri Krishna Karshani are observed in addition to the previously mentioned 4 symptoms. So this is actually it is explained. So the third characteristics is that bhakti renders even the attainment of liberation insignificant or worthless. So when it comes to the stage of bhava, then attainment of liberation will appear insignificant or worthless to you. The quality of Sudurlabha being extremely rarely attained is the 4th characteristics of pure bhakti. Although one may be detached from sense gratification and may have practiced the limbs of bhakti for a long time, still one may not attain it. These 2 characteristics are the symptoms of bhava bhakti. So one may be detached from sense gratification, one may have practiced all the limbs of bhakti for a long time, still one will not get bhava bhakti. Means it is so rare. It is extremely rarely attained. How much hard you try, it is quite difficult to get to this bhava stage. So this is explained, means Sudurlabha. So Shuddha Bhakti manifests along with the 6 symptoms. Kleshagni, it brings immediate relief from all kinds of material challenges. You see, the moment you start chanting, immediate relief will come. Immediately people will stop troubling you. There are other problems and serious ailment and all those things. They'll simply vanish or they'll be diminished to a great degree. When you start chanting, immediate relief comes from material distresses. The second characteristics of bhakti is Shubhada. It brings all auspiciousness. Number 3 is moksha laghuta. Liberation becomes insignificant before Bhava Bhakti. And Sudurlabha means it is rarely achieved. So Sudurlabha Bhakti is very, very rarely achieved. Very rarely achieved. So it is not at all, attainment of Hari Bhakti is extremely rare. Rupa Goswami has written about the extreme rarity of Bhakti. How rare is Bhava Bhakti? He is quoting from Bhakti Rasam Sindhu 1.3.35. Sadhanoger anasangair labhya suchiradapi harina chaso addeti dvidha sasya sudurlabha. There are two reasons for Hari Bhakti being so rare. First, it cannot be achieved in spite of engaging in many varieties of sadhana for a long period of time, as long as one is bereft of firm faith and unwavering persistence. So you may engage in long sadhana, but if you are not firm faith and you don't have unwavering persistence, you cannot get Bhava Bhakti. Secondly, Sri Hari does not easily grant Bhakti unto him, even though one may be engaged in Asanga Yukta Sadhan, spiritual practice endowed with unflinching attachment. The word Asanga implies expertise in bhajan. Without expertise in bhajan, no spiritual practice can grant Hari Bhakti. By executing sadhan with expertise in bhajan for a long period of time, and after offenses to both the holy name and Vaishnavas have been dispelled, by the mercy of Lord, unalloyed devotion, which establishes one in knowledge of his constitutional identity, arises in the heart. Jnanata sulabha muktir, jnanata Jnanata sulabha muktir bhuktir yajnadi punyataha seyam sadhana sahasrair hari bhakti surlabha muktir sam sindhu. By the cultivation of impersonal knowledge, one can easily obtain liberation, mukti. And by the performance of sacrifices and other pious activities, one can easily obtain sense gratification, mukti. But despite performing innumerable sadhanas, one cannot achieve Hari Bhakti so easily. Bhagwan does not easily grant Bhakti unto him as confirmed in Srimad Bhagavata and Bhakti Rasam Sindhu. Rajan Patir Guru Alam Bhavatam Yadunam Daivam Priya Kulapati Vachaking Karo Vaha Asto Evam Anga Bhajatam Bhagwan Mukundo Muktim Dadati Karichit Smana Bhakti Yoga. Shukta Goswami said, my dear King Parikshit, Lord Mukunda himself was the protector, spiritual master, and worshipful deity, well-wisher, and head of the Pandavas and the Yadu dynasty. Sometimes he even became their obedient servant. It is a matter of great fortune because Bhagwan easily grants liberation to those engaged in bhajan unto him, but he does not easily award prema for him, which is far superior to liberation. In his commentary to this verse, Srila Jiva Goswami's comment, Tasmat asangenapi krute sadhana bhute sakshat bhakti yoge sati yavata phala bhute bhakti yoge gadha asaktir na jayate tavanna dadatiti artha. Those who engage in bhajan unto the Supreme Lord by executing the ninefold limbs of bhakti are not granted unalloyed devotion by Bhagwan until they develop strong attachment for activity executed on the platform of ecstatic emotion, bhava, which is the fruit of perception of one's eternal identity. Until that time comes, one's devotion is simply chaya bhakti abhas. Understand? So this bhakti is auspicious, shubhada, kleshagni shubhada, moksha laguta. By nature, bhakti renders the conception of liberation, mukti, insignificant. So bhava makes even mukti seem insignificant. In Narad Pancharatra, it's told, Hari Bhakti Mahadevya Sarvam Muktyadi Siddhaya Bhuktasya Chadbhutasa Tasya Chetikavat Anubrata. The various kinds of perfection headed by mukti and the entirety of mundane pleasures follow behind the goddess of Hari Bhakti, Bhakti Devi as her maidservants. Srila Rupa Goswami has also said this in this very beautifully, Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. Manag eva parudhyam hrudaye bhagavad rato purusharthastha chatvaras trunayate samantatah. Only when one understands the fourfold achievement of economic development, religiosity, self-gratification, and liberation to be very insignificant, it can be accepted that unalloyed devotion is appearing within him. So liberation is nothing in front of this Bhava Bhakti. So this is very, very clear. Hari Bhakti Sudurlabha. So this is the characteristics. Bhakti is Kleshagni Shodha Moksha Lagotaka Sudurlabha Samrananda Visheshatma Shri Krishna's Karshani Chesa. So bhakti will remain elusive so long as one performs devotional service improperly. Even if one engages in millions of different spiritual practices, sadhan, apart from that, Bhakti Devi satisfies the majority of people with only impersonal liberation. She does not give bhakti unless she sees that the practitioner is highly qualified. It is for these two reasons that bhakti is rarely achieved. The sadhana of cultivating jnana definitely leads one to liberation in the form of merging into non-dual Brahma, which is the very form of knowledge. It is also easy to get material sense gratification by performing pious deeds like yajna and other such activities. However, if one does not practice bhakti yoga, one cannot achieve bhakti to Sri Hari even by performing millions of spiritual practices. Understand? So Bhakti makes even the pleasure of impersonal liberation seem insignificant. If even a little love for the Supreme Bhagavad Rati has manifested in one's heart, dharma, religion, artha, economic development, kama, sense gratification, and moksha, liberation, naturally appear insignificant. So bhakti is moksha lagutakrut, bhava bhakti, and sudurlava. So this is actually explained here. So Srila Rupa Goswami said in Bhakti Lagutakrut, Nageva Karudhayam Hrudaye Bhagavad Rato Purusharthastu Jatvaras Trunayate Samangata. Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu 1.1.33. When Bhava Bhakti awakens in the heart even slightly, the four objects of human pursuit, namely dharma, duty in accordance with religious principles, artha, wealth, kama, desire for sense pleasure, and moksha, emancipation, appear as insignificant and worthless as straw. He has quoted the following evidence from Sri Narad Pancharatra. Hari Bhakti Mahadevya Sarva Muktadi Siddhaya Bhuktayas Chadbhutasya Cheti Tavat Anuvarta. Quoted in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu 1.1.32. All types of liberation, all mystic perfections, and all varieties of material enjoyment follow like maid servants behind the great Queen Bhakti. In reference to the characteristic of Shudurlava, Sri Rupa Goswami has said, Sadhu sadhanoger anasangair alabhya suchiradapi harina chashva addeti dvidha sa syat Shudurlava. A person cannot obtain devotion to Hari, even after forsaking attachment to material sense objects and engaging in numerous spiritual practices over an extended period of time. Moreover, Shri Hari does not easily bestow bhakti to him. For these two reasons, Hari Bhakti is rarely obtained. As long as one does not develop a deep attachment to attaining Prema Bhakti, Shri Hari does not bestow it. Upon attaining just one atomic particle of this Bhava Bhakti, the total darkness of ignorance and nations in the heart is completely dispelled. The fragrance of this transcendental flower of Bhava reaches the spiritual world, where its nectarous pollen invites Bhagavan Sri Madhusudan to come and taste its honey, thus making him appear before the devotee. In other words, a bumblebee becomes so attracted to the fragrance of a blossoming flower that it becomes intoxicated by it. It approaches the flower and with great relish drinks its honey. Similarly, Bhagavan Sri Madhusudan is attracted to the fragrance emanating from the flower of Bhava within the heart of the devotee. He personally manifests in the devotee's heart and drinks the honey of that flower, thus becoming intoxicated. Number 1C. A heart melted with bhava drenches the limbs of bhakti. Drenches the limbs of Bhagavan. Kim bahuna yair eva vasitas chitta vritti tila vitatayo द्रवी भावम आसाद्य सद्य एव भगवत अंगम अखिलम एव स्नेहयितुम योग्यताम ददते यह खलु आविर्भवन एव स्वाधरम स्वपचम अपि ब्रह्मादेर अपि नमस्सत्वम आपादयति. What more can be said? The tendencies of the devotee's heart, chitta vritti, are like a heap of sesame seeds. Bhava causes these tendencies to become fragrant and melt, becoming oil, and thus capable of immediately drenching all the limbs of Sri Bhagavan with affection. When this bhava manifests, it makes its recipient worshipful for Lord Brahma and others, even if that recipient is Chandal, an outcast dog. Moreover, this bhava melts the devotee's heart, likened here to a heap of sesame seeds, so fully that Sri Bhagavan's entire body is drenched with affection. This bhava is so pure that it can manifest anywhere, irrespective of birth, even within the heart of an outcast dog eater, making that person worshipful for even Brahma, Lord Brahma. A vision of Bhagavan through all one's senses. Udyot Udyotamame च अस्मिन् श्यामलीमानं व्रज महेन्द्रनन्दनस्याङ्गानाम् एव आरुण्यं तदीयाधर नेत्रान्तादेर एव धवलीमानं तदीय वदन स्मित चंद्रिकादेर एव प्रीतिमानं तद अंबर भूषणादेर एव लेढुं लब्धासन्न समम समयम एव वलितोत्कंठम भक्तस्य नयन द्वंद्वम अश्रुभिर अजस्त्रम आत्मानम अभिसिंचेत गीतम तदीयम मुरल्या एव सिंचितम तदीय नुपुरादेर एव सौस्वर्यम तदीय कंठस्यैव निषेधम निदेशम तच्चरण परिचरणस्यैव तत्कृतं कमपि स्वस्यावतंसि कर्तुं मृग्यद इव स्थाने स्थाने क्षणे क्षणे श्रवणद्वयं निश्चलीभवत् उन्नमेत् एवं एव ईदृशी वा तद उभय कर किशलय स्पर्शः इति तदैव तम अनुभवत् इव गात्रं रोमांचितं भवेत् तद सौरभ्यं लभ्यमानम् इव विदुष्यौ नासे प्रफुल्ले क्षणे क्षणे श्वासं गृहीत्वा परिचिषेताम् हंतसा एला किं मे स्वादनीया इति तदैव ताम् उपलभमानेव रसनापि उल्लसं दधानाव ओष्ठाधरौ लीहात् कदापि तदीय स्फूर्तौ तं साक्षात् प्राप्तवत् इव चेतो रुष्येत् तन् माधुर्यस्यास्वाद संपत्त्या माद्येत् तदैव तत् तिरोभावे विशिदेत् ग्लायेत् इति एवं संचारी भावैर आत्मानं अलंकुर्वद इव शोभेत. When this bhava awakens, the Jatarati bhava bhakta, one in whom bhava has arisen, relishes the darkish complexion of Rajendranandan Sri Krishna's limbs, the reddish hue of his eyes and lips, the whitish brilliance emanating from his smiling moonlight lotus face, and the yellow luster of his cloth and ornaments. In this way, he experiences Sri Krishna as being near to him. The devotee's voice becomes choked and he drenches his body in a continuous flow of tears. Sometimes that devotee hankers to make as the ornaments of his ears the sweet sound of Sri Krishna's flute, the tinkling of Sri Krishna's ankle bells, the melodious speech emanating from Sri Krishna's sweet voice, and Sri Krishna's direct order to serve his lotus feet. Searching them out, the devotee circumambulates different places and time and again, and he stops, pricks his ears, and stands motionless to try to pursue the sound. Sometimes he wonders, what will the touch of the lotus hands of Brajanandan Sri Krishna be like? In his ecstasy, as if experiencing that touch, all the hairs on his body stand on end. He sometimes thinks he is experiencing the beautiful fragrance of Sri Krishna's transcendental body. Clearing his nostrils, he inhales time and again in order to become familiar with that fragrance. And sometimes he thinks, alas, alas, will I ever be fortunate enough to taste the nectar of Sri Shamsundar's lips? His tongue then proceeds to lick his lips in immense happiness, as if they bear that nectar. Sometimes within his heart, he obtains a momentary vision, spurti of his beloved Sri Krishna. Thinking that he has directly achieved him, his heart begins to dance in happiness. At that time, he becomes delirious at the thought that he has attained the wealth of relishing Bhagavan's sweetness. And again, when that momentary vision disappears, he becomes restless and full of lamentation. Thus, such a devotee, in whose heart bhava has awakened, decorates his soul with the various sanchari bhavas, ecstatic emotions that rise and fall in the ocean of one's eternal mood, and thus becomes beautifully situated. As if directly relishing the five sense objects related to Sri Krishna, his form, taste, bodily fragrance, voice, and touch, the sadhaka in whom bhava has awakened adorns himself with the ornaments of various ecstatic emotions. That devotee considers that he has attained close proximity to Sri Krishna. It is as if he were directly experiencing the sweetness of the beauty of Sri Krishna's dark complexion, the sweetness of the reddish hue of his lips and eyes, the whitish brilliance of the gentle smile on his moonlight lotus face, and the golden luster of his cloth and ornaments. With great excitement, he bathes himself in the uninterrupted flow of tears pouring from his eyes. Such a sadhaka desires to hear the sweet sound of Sri Krishna's flute, the tinkling of his ankle bells and vest sash, the sound of his mellifluous voice, and his instructions to serve him. The devotee thus pricks up his ears and focuses his hearing up and down, side to side, sometimes upon feeling the delicate, sweet touch of Sri Krishna's lotus hands, the hair on his body stands on end. Now I'll attain Sri Krishna. Now I'll attain Sri Krishna. Such is his condition. In Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, Sri Rupa Goswami has stated, Ratir Ananda Rupaiva. The stage at which Rati Bhava awakens is very the form of supreme bliss. So here, all these wonderful things happen when devotee is actually on the stage of Bhava. So Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, Sri Rupa Goswami said, Ratir Ananda Rupaiva. So basically, Ratir Ananda Rupaiva. So this is Ratir Ananda Rupaiva Niyamana tu Rasyatam. This is the verse actually. Krishna Divir Vibhavate Gater Anubhavadhani Praudhananda Chamatkar Kashtam आपद्यते पर किंतु प्रेमा विभावाद्य ही स्वल्पर नितोपि अनियासिम विभावनादि अवस्थांतु सद्य आस्वाद्यताम व्रजते. So here the sadhaka endowed with rati experiences unlimited jubilation by receiving an internal transcendental vision, spurti of Sri Krishna. Sometimes upon attaining such a spurti, he becomes maddened, having tested Bhagavan's sweetness, and at other times, upon not receiving a spurti of Sri Krishna, he becomes exceedingly morose and depressed. In this way, many sanchari bhavas, transitory ecstatic emotions like jubilation and despondency appear in the body of that sadhaka. Decorating himself with these bhavas, he thus becomes beautifully adorned. One can observe the following 33 sanchari bhavas in such a devotee. Number one is indifference, nirveda. Number two, moroseness, vishada. Number three, humility, dainya. Number four, guilt, glani. Number five, fatigue, shrama. Number six, intoxication, mother. Number seven, pride, garva. Number eight, doubt, shanka. Number nine, apprehension, tras. Number 10, intense emotion. So these are the called intense emotion. So these all these symptoms are manifesting in the actually uh, intense emotion that is called avek. Someone will translate it like trepidation, trepidation. Madness, unmad, forgetfulness, apasmurti. Apasmurti means forgetfulness or absent-mindedness. Vyadhi, vyadhi means disease, sickness. Bewilderment, moha. Bewilderment means moha. Death, mrityu. Laziness, alasya. Inertia, chadya. Bashfulness, vrida. Concealment of emotions, avaitha. Remembrance, smriti. Argumentativeness, vitarka. Contemplation, chinta. Attentiveness, mati. Patience, dhruti. Jubilation, harsha. Eagerness, utsukya. Fierceness, augri. Anger, amarsha. Jealousy, asuya. Chapalya, restlessness. Chapalya means restlessness. And nidra means basically sleepiness, sleep. Deep sleep, supti. Deep sleep called supti. And awakening or awareness or perceptiveness, that is bodha. Bodha is also one characteristic. It is only at the stage of rati that the devotee is truly called a sadhaka. So the symptoms of a sadhak bhakta have been described in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu 2.1.276. Utpanna ratayaha samyan nairvigdhyam anupagataha Krishna sakrutahu yogyaha sadhaka parigya. So this is the definition of sadhaka. So someone will say, are you a sadhaka? Then you have to match this definition. So this is a very high position actually. Sadhaka. So sadhaka is actually, he must have these characteristics. Then only he can be counted as sadhaka. Those devotees in whom Krishna Rati has awakened, but whose obstacles have not yet been completely eradicated, and who have attained the qualification to have direct audience of Krishna are known as sadhakas. So following example from Bhakti-Vidanta Sindhu 2.15278 illustrates this. O intelligent person, do not worry that the blazing flames of the forest of fire of material existence continue to exist, despite your becoming drenched in tears that fell when you heard a river-like flow of narrations about Sri Bhagwan. Extreme horripilation that resembles many fish dancing can be seen on your limbs. And thus it seems that very soon the black cloud, Krishna Megh, which is filled with a shower of mercy that destroys the hankering for worldly nectar, will arise in the sky of your heart. Your words, when tears flow in a continuous stream as a result of hearing narrations about Bhagwan, about Sri Bhagwan, there is no need to worry about worldly bondage. Because very soon Sri Krishna will bestow his mercy. At this stage of Rati, Harikatha tastes like nectar, and the desire for anything else vacates the heart. So this is very nice. So liberation is insignificant. Liberation becomes insignificant for those who are chanting the holy name and those who are on the stage of bhava. Absolutely, they have no regard for liberation at all. They have achieved something much higher. So, remembrance of Bhagwan in wakefulness, dreaming, and deep sleep. Number 1E. Buddhir apatan Apanantam evartham avadharayanti jagrata swapna sushuptishu tadiya smrti vartmani eva panthatvam adhyavasit. The intelligence of the devotee who has attained bhava is incessantly fixed on attaining his soul cherished goal. In each of the three states of consciousness, wakefulness, dreaming, and sleep, he remains a traveler on the path of constant remembrance of Shri Bhagavan. The Jagrati sadhaka reaches a state in which remembrance of Shri Hari proceeds in an uninterrupted manner, Dhruva Anusmriti. Since he receives an uninterrupted internal vision and continual realization of Vrajanandan's intrinsic beauty, Swarup Lavanya, whether he is asleep, awake, or in deep sleep, he is always restless to obtain the service of Sri Krishna's lotus feet. His remembrance of Sri Krishna for even a moment. Bhagavan Shri Kapil Dev has described Dhruva Anusmriti as symptomatic that is beyond the three modes of material nature, Nirguna Bhakti. Madguna Shruti Matrena Mai Sarva Guhashaye Manogatira Vichinna Yatha Gangamba Som Budho Lakshanam Bhakti Yogasya Nirgunasya Hi Udavrutam Srimad Bhagavatam 3.11 and 12. Just as the water of the Ganga flows naturally toward the ocean, similarly, simply upon hearing about my personal qualities, the mind uninterruptedly flows like a stream of oil towards me. The supersoul dwelling in the heart of all living entities. This is the symptom of Nirgun Bhakti. The Jatrati Sadhaka's remembrance of Sri Krishna is never checked. Whether it's awake, dreaming, or in deep sleep, in the vacant state, the mind of ordinary persons remains absorbed in mundane forms, taste, sounds, and so on. But the mind of a sadhaka endowed with rati does not become attached to perishable, tasteless material affairs and objects. Rather, it remains continuously absorbed in the thought of Bhagavan. In the wakeful state, the external senses such as the eyes, ears, and nose remain alert and active. Therefore, the sense objects of this world, such as forms, fragrances, and taste, appear real. And what one wishes for remains a non-reality. But in the sleeping state, the five senses remain unconscious. So it is an opportune time for the brain to generate a wide variety of thoughts. In this state, the mind is detached from external activity. So it wanders within the subtle world, free from gross attractions. For the wakeful state, in the wakeful state, whatever images the mind takes in due to its contact with the external senses appear in the sleeping state in one's dreams. Since the heart of the sadhaka who has developed bhava is completely free from worldly concerns and worries, only the names, forms, qualities, and pastimes of Sri Hari appear in the flow of his thoughts. Worldly objects do not. Therefore, even in the dreams of a Jatrati sadhaka, Bhagavan's names, forms, qualities, and pastimes appear naturally. In the state of deep slumber, the gross senses as well as subtle designations, the mind, intelligence, heart, and even the false ego are completely asleep and thus remain inactive. Consequently, no thoughts enter the mind of that at that time. But remembrance of Bhagavan occurs in the soul of the Jatrati sadhaka, even in the deep sleep. We'll stop here today. So thank you very much for attending today's class. So we are stopping at page number 364, beginning. 1F. 1F we are stopping. Thank you so much for attending this class. Hare Krishna. Vanchakalpatrubhesha kripa sindhubheva cha paritanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Lakshmibhyo namo namah. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. So I hope.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, Dandavat Params. Thank you, Maharaj.
Dandavat Didi. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Dandavat. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Hare Bol. Hare Bol. Thank you so much. If anyone has any comments or questions, please ask. Dandavat.
Hare Krishna. Maharaj, Dandavat Pranam. So actually, this five senses, when it's in the sleeping stage and it get contact with the outer outer circumstances or the outer space. It connects actually with people, not with the higher space. Is it? It's a contact with other people.
Yeah, basically, all our senses, when we are in situation, we are in on the stage of bhava, then actually they are relishing Krishna's bodily fragrance, Krishna's form. Means they are not attached at all to the mundane senses, mundane sense objects, like our eyes. Suppose we go to Venice Beach or we go to, say, Fifth Avenue in New York, then we'll be looking through showrooms, we'll be seeing what bag, which handbag is on sale, understand? But pure devotees, even if they're watching on Fifth Avenue or in a mall in, say, Los Angeles or California, they will be only remembering Krishna, understand? They will not be attracted to any beauty or any beautiful gadgets or beautiful cars, no. And sounds also, there may be so much music, film music may be going on, but they will only remember only Krishna's flute song. And different type of perfumes don't attract them because they are tested, they have smelled the greatest perfume in the world, greatest fragrance that is emanating from Krishna's body, understand? So that perfume is the greatest perfume. So they have tested the Adharamrut of Krishna. So no mundane taste will attract them. So, different types of food stuff which are sold in the market don't attract them because they have received the Adhan of the Mahaprasad of Krishna, Adharamrut, the nectar from Krishna's lips. So, Roop, Rasa, Gandha, Sparsha, which is the objects of five knowledge acquiring senses, they do not attract them at all. This is a very elevated stage bhava. Now, this is not, this is 1 in million. Very, very rare, this stage of bhava. There, like Bilumangal Thakur was on the stage of bhava. So, he's called a sadhaka. If you want to know what is the definition of a sadhaka, what is an example of sadhaka, then they give the example of Bilumangal Thakur. Because he was on the stage of bhava. Now, Bharat Maharaj also reached that stage of bhava. Haraurati Vahanesha Narendranam Shikhamani Bhiksham Atan Aripure Swapakam Api Vandate. So this is the description of Bharat Maharaj which is given in Chaitanya Charitamrita. Means although he was fighting with the enemies before, but when he became devotee and developed bhava, then he was offering pranam to his own enemies and begging from their houses. So that is completely detached from any wealth, attraction for any wealth. That is symptomatic of the stage of bhava. There are many, many characteristics also we discussed. Shanti Ravyartha Kalatvam, Viraktir Manashunyata. So this is called Virakti. Shanti Ravyartha Kalatvam, Viraktir Manashunyata. Asha Bandha Samutkantha Nama Gani Sadaruchi. Asaktistat Gunakyane, Pritistat Vasadistale, Ityadayanu Bhavasur, Jata Bhavan. Like Yamuna Acharya. He is saying that Yadavati Mama Cheta, Krishna Padara Vindi, Navanavarsa Dhamani Uddatam Rantumasi, Tadavati Bata Nari Sangame Smaryamani, Bhavati Mukha Vikara, Sushtu Nishti Vanamcha. The greatest pleasure in this material world is actually attraction for sense gratification with member of opposite sex. But Yamunacharya is telling that when I think of this type of sense gratification, which is very base, I spit at that thought. Now, this can happen only when you are on the stage of bhava, very elevated stage. Yamunacharya has told like this. So, this is Vivatsaras, that is Jugupsa. He's feeling that. So one time says that. So everyone says that. Rameshwar was asking question to Prabhupada. That means that they want to have nice clothing and cars for sex. As soon as there is sex, then they want so many other things to make it more attractive. So Prabhupada is telling not necessarily. Formerly, there was sex life. They are thinking like that. We require, naturally, first of all, they will be. If they advance in Krishna consciousness, they will stop sex life. So this is the characteristics of advancement. The sex life will immediately stop. Yadavati Mama Cheta Krishna Padara Vinde. Yamunacharya is telling. Since my mind has been engaged in the service of the lotus feet of Lord Krishna, and I have been enjoying an ever new transcendental humor, whenever I think of sex life with a woman, my face at once turns from it, and I spit at the thought. If they are really Krishna conscious, they will have no more taste for sex life. So this is what Prabhupada is telling. So it means automatically, because this is a very so Yamunacharya has given this verse. He was actually a great king, and kings, they are generally licentious. But he became later on a saintly devotee. Kings have all facility to enjoy the most beautiful women in the world. But he became a saintly devotee. So his personal experience is saying, since I have engaged my mind in the service of the lotus feet of Krishna, Yadavari Mama Cheta Krishna Padara Vende, Nava Nava. And service, spiritual service means every moment new. It is not hackneyed. Hackneyed. What is this hackneyed? Hackneyed means actually, is telling Prabhupada that it doesn't become stale. It doesn't become stale. Like for example, material work, we are working in a company and we are looking for maybe when weekend will come. Because what work we do in the office is so repeated too often, and we become over familiar through overuse. Dictionary is telling hackneyed means actually hackneyed means becoming over familiar through overuse. So it becomes commonplace, or say so actually banal actually. So that's why. But in service, devotional service is not like that. Every day we attend Mangalarti, but we get newer and more rasa when we attend Mangalarti or Kirtan like that. So those who are spiritually realized, they will find to serve Krishna means new enlightenment. Nava navarsa dhamani uddatam rantumasi. Here in this material world, you enjoy it, it becomes hackneyed. Punah charvita charvananam. Therefore, for example, you have chewed the sugar cane, then again you chew it, then no juice will come in out of that. It becomes hackneyed. Therefore, you are disappointed. But if you engage yourself in the service of Krishna, you'll find new encouragement. That is spiritual. If you find it hackneyed, then you must know that you are not serving spiritually, you are serving materially. Suppose you are not finding taste for chanting, hearing, Harikatha, classes, devotional service, then it means that you are doing with some material, you are serving Krishna but with material motive. Then you will not find the holy name so tasty. But if you are thinking of Krishna, serving Krishna spiritually, then you'll certainly find the holy name very tasty. Formality is stereotype. But if you feel new energy, then you know that you are serving spiritually. So one should not serve out of formality. That is okay in the beginning, but one should serve with attraction. So this is the test. Your enthusiasm will increase, not decrease. So the test is within our hand. If during Mangalarti we feel laziness, that means I am not yet spiritually advanced. Because in Mangalarti we are doing Mangala Shri Guru Gaura Mangala Murati Mangala Shri Radha Krishna Jugala Piriti. Someone who has developed the bhava, then that person, what he will be doing, thinking? He will be thinking that, oh, Radha Krishna are in the Kunja, and then Shukasari are coming and waking them up. Muranda Devi is sending many birds. Kakati is coming and she's howling, and somehow she's trying to wake up Radha Krishna. And although they are not interested, they separate themselves from tight embrace. So this is Mangalarti. But if you are not feeling any relish for this Mangalarti, it means that we are not understanding the confidential secrets behind this Mangalarti. Anyone can test. Bhakti Pareshana Bhava Viraktir Annatra Chaisha Trikakala Prapadya Manasya Tha Sutasyur Pushti Pushtik Shuddha Payanu Bhasam. So actually, suppose you are taking any morsel of prasadam, so you are very hungry, then what will happen? Every morsel you will feel relish because prasad is very tasty. Also, you'll get some strength and your hunger will also be subsiding. Because when you take every morsel of the food you take, Mahaprasadam, your hunger will subside, you feel some strength and you'll develop some relish. So when you are doing bhakti, automatically detachment will come, but not in 1 day or 2 days. Suppose you see a new devotee who's been practicing 1 or 2 years or 3 years, and that person is it seems that attached to sense gratification. You should not take it seriously because it takes some time for developing detachment. So don't blame new devotees. They have not developed full detachment. It takes some time. Suppose there is a person, there is a person who is sometimes taking some tobacco, sometimes even taking sometimes a little ganja also, marijuana, and sometimes little tea and coffee also is taking, sometimes he's eating pan also, sometimes smoking biri, cigarettes, no harm. And but also chanting the name of Krishna. Hmm. Maybe he's a householder, not it in saffron cloths. But he's not criticizing any Vaishnava, but sometimes engaging in some little intoxication and also chanting the holy name. And there is another person who has taken saffron cloths, maybe even sannyas or brahmachari, and is staying in the and only criticizing other Vaishnavas. So who's better among them? The first one is better. He is not staying in a mata, he is not in saffron cloth, he has not taken sannyas. Sometimes he is breaking some regulative principles also, like taking some marijuana or maybe some smoking tobacco also. But he is not criticizing anyone. And he is also chanting the holy name. He is far better than the second person who is not doing any seva, although taking second initiation, even sannyas, but not doing any seva, simply sitting and taking prasada and criticizing other Vaishnavas, living in a mata committing offenses. The second person is not very good. The first person is much better than him, at least. Although he's breaking some regulative principles, but he's not criticizing anyone. Understand? So slowly, when you do bhakti, virakti will come. Pareshanubhav, realization of Bhagavan will come. So bhakti means spiritual. So as soon as you are touched with the Supreme Spirit, virakti annatra syat. No more enjoyment in this material world. So when bhakti will come, what to speak of bhav bhakti? Even Shraddha has come, Nishtha, Ruchi, Asakti has come, then one will feel detachment from the enjoyment in the material world. So Krishna is there. Krishna is also sitting within the heart. And I am also sitting within the heart, just like the two friends on the same bar. So don't think what is Tirtha, what is the holy place. Many people say Vrindavan is the holy place because Krishna performs Raslila there. That's very good. Jagannath Puri is the holy place where Jagannath is performing pastimes there. That is fine. Navadvip is the holy place because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is performing pastimes there. But what about Johannesburg, Durban? What about New York or Hawaii? Like that. Any place, even in India, say Chennai or Dehradun or any place, that is not a holy place. Or in Dubai, United Arab Emirates, it is not a holy place. In Dubai, there is no Krishna. Every single atom is there. So in that sense, every single place in the world is a holy place. If there is no place, you show me any place in the world where Krishna is not there. Krishna is staying in everyone's hearts. So I am also sitting within the heart, just like two friends. But Dva Suparna Savija Sakhaya Samana Bhuksham Parisasva Jate. So on the same branch, the bird, the soul and the super soul, both are sitting. So in the Upanishad, this is also told. Samanam Bhukshe Purusha Nibbana. They are sitting equally on the same level. The bird is eating the fruit of the tree, and the Jiva soul, the living entity, he is making his fruitive action. So the Jiva is eating the fruit of this material world. So they basically, but the Paramatma is not interested in these material fruits. So that's why when you come to the stage of Bhav Bhakti, then very strong attraction will come to Krishna's name, form, qualities and pastimes. Such great relish will come. And then when you develop great relish, for example, once you develop taste for some delicacies, then no one will want to eat chapatis and other things. Understand? Suppose you are given rabdi, then who will drink milk? Understand? Or who will take sour buttermilk? If you have developed taste for rabdi, if someone has offered you rabdi, very condensed milk, then who will that day drink buttermilk? Buttermilk in India was not sold. It was given free of charge. There is Chach Kunda in Braj actually. There was a big kunda where the gopis used to store the buttermilk. Take as much buttermilk as you like. With buckets and buckets you can take free of charge. It was not something which was sold. Yogurt and buttermilk was not sold in Braj. Understand? So once we develop this advanced, then Rupa Rasa Gandha Sparsha, they will not attract us. They will be attracted only by Krishna's form and qualities. Understand? Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
So Maharaj, that is where association with devotees is good.
Yes,
In the
yes.
world it's difficult. That's how we get poor and we struggle. Oh.
Yeah, if no association is there, then the books are there. We have to read the books. If association now, by Krishna's mercy, the communication in India with 4G, 5G, and Narendra Modi now is talking about 6G. It will not be rolled out, but another 6 years there will be 6G. I haven't yet got a 5G phone yet, but still they're talking about 6G. So there'll be more and more. Maybe now we are seeing in classes in 2D, 2 dimension. Maybe when 6G will come, you'll be able to see speaker in the 3D, 3 dimensions, as if he's sitting right in your drawing room, and speaking to you. Maybe the virtual reality, will be more advanced, so that is, the world is becoming a smaller and smaller place due to this. Like when Srila Gurudev was on the planet, he was already giving initiations by Skype, because Gurudev was exhibiting the pastime of being sick, and some devotees in Russia, someone is in Armenia, someone is in Hawaii, someone is Johannesburg. They want initiation, so they want the mantra. So many times it was given through the visual meeting Skype, So it is technology, it is the thought. Now is also thought. Suppose Srila Bhakti-Vidanta Bharati Maharaj was performing in Chandigarh, Kartik. So does it mean that he was not doing Kartik in Brajamandal? Actually, wherever pure devotees exist, like Srila Gurudev, Srila Bharati Maharaj, Sripad Dandi Maharaj, Sri Anirudh Prabhuji, then that place automatically becomes Vrindavan. Understand? So if we are meditating on Vrindavan, then we are already in Vrindavan. Understand? Vrindavan is also conception. We are meditating on Vrindavan, we are already in Vrindavan. Someone is in on Vrindavan outside, maybe how I can go to New York and make more money on Wall Street, and maybe, how I can invest in maybe some stocks, get more money. Then he's not living in Vrindavan. Vrindavan means under the guidance of 6 Goswamis. Rupa Goswami, to be a Rupanik Vaishnava. What the Goswamis did they worry about the wealth? Taktva Turanama Shesha Mandalapati Shrenim Sada Tuchavat Bhutvatina Ganesha Kaukarunaya Kaupina Kanthashritau Gopi Bhavara Sambrita Dilahari Kallola Magno Muhur Vande Rupa Sanatano Raghuyugau Shri Jiva Gopalakau. Did they worry about very beautiful clothes, very good quality silk dhotis or anything? What Sanatana Goswami did? He took from Chandrasekhar Acharya simply one old cloth, white cloth, tore it, tied it around his waist, and one became upper cloth, and that's it. He became like Babaji Vesh. Did he take any very, not like that. Very simple cloth they were wearing, maybe one cloth up to knee. They didn't even take sannyas because they had so much regard for Mahaprabhu. They said, Mahaprabhu is Bhagavan, he has taken sannyas. How can we take sannyas? So they didn't take even sannyas. They simply wore the white clothes out of respect. Understand? So this Babajis actually, they were not Babajis. Sanatana Goswami never took Babaji Vesh. But he was renounced from within the heart completely. They had given so much wealth as equal to the treasurer of demigods, Kubera. And they had been practicing bhakti 24 hours a day, writing so many books, so many books that when Rupa Goswami was writing the pastimes of Sri Krishna, which were full of the mood of separation, the leaves of the tree used to fall. Leaves of the tree used to fall. And when he used to write the pastimes of meeting of Radha Krishna, then the blossom used to manifest on the trees. The trees used to blossom with fresh birds and blooming flowers. So, means Vrindavan became Tadanpa with them. Vrindavan also reciprocated with their sentiments. So, they wrote these books like Ujjvala Nilamani. Yate Dwarapati Puram Muravipo Tadvasa Samvyanaya. Kalindi Kulat Banjulatata Alambya Sotkanthaya Udgitam Guru Bashpagat Galat Taraswaram Radaya Yenantara jala charibhir jalacharet apput kamut kujitam. Radharani is sitting on the shore of Jamuna, and she has covered her body by the yellow shawl of Sri Krishna, and she is weeping loudly in separation of Krishna. Hearing her weeping in separation of Krishna, even the fish in the water, they also began to weep loudly. Tirasham api Vedanam. One of the characteristic of Mohanatma Mahabhav is writing. Was there any tube light, LED bulbs, any air-conditioned room, attached toilet, bathroom? Living underneath a tree, and they are writing this exalted poetry. What we are studying, Bhakti-Vidanta, these books were written underneath the tree. Understand? What did Vishwanath Thakur do? Vishwanath Thakur also wrote these books in such great austerity. So we should, we are indebted to this Rupa Goswami, Srila Vishwanath Thakur. So we don't have to do much. We simply have to chant the Mahamantram of Krishna. Everything is there. Whether even knowingly, unknowingly, somehow the other, Harer Nama, Namaiva Kevalam, Kalo Nasteva, Nasteva, Nasteva Gatiranyatha. Simply we have to chant the name of Krishna, honor Prasadam, and hear Harikatha. Simply we hear Harikatha, then we are purified. It is not very difficult process. It is very easy process compared to other processes. Bhakti is much easier because it is based on Shravana Bhakti. Hearing. If you hear Harikatha, obviously don't miss classes. If any high class Vaishnava like Sripad Dandi Maharaj giving classes, don't miss them. Giving up all your duties, you should try to hear the class. Even chanting also, you can keep your bead bag away and hear if necessary. You focus, first hear. You will not be able to chant. Soon you will give up chanting and fall down head first if you don't hear Harikatha. Gurudev told. Gurudev told that don't sleep in my Harikatha. Be very attentively hear my Harikatha. You may be doing Varnashram Dharma, Goshala, food, book distribution, food for life, building big temples, community programs, Gurukuls and all those things. Yes, that is okay. But when I'm speaking Harikatha, you attentively hear, Gurudev used to tell. Otherwise, you'll give up one day everything and then you'll look where I can find another wife, another girlfriend, like this. Immediate fall down. Understand? Because not developing any taste for Harikatha. So Gurudev has warned us, we always be attached to Harikatha, especially some Mahabhagavad Vaishnava speaking, then we should try to hear Harikatha. So there are, Gurudev always to warn us. Sadhu Sangha, as you said, is very, very important. Hare Krishna. Dhanvads. Hare Krishna. So Anangman Prabhu, Chaydhvani. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Maharaj.
Shri Guru Gauranga Gandharvika Giridhari Radha Vinod Bharati ki jai. Om Vishnu Pada Stotra Srimad Bhakti-Vidanta Vishnu Deity Goswami Maharaj ki jai. Om Vishnu Pada Stotra Srimad Bhakti-Vidanta Dandi Goswami Maharaj ki jai. Nitilya Pravishta Om Vishnu Pada Stotra Srimad Bhakti-Vidanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj ki jai. Nitilya Pravishta Vishnu Pada Stotra Srimad Bhakti-Vidanta Vaman Goswami Maharaj ki jai. Nitilya Pravishta Vishnu Pada Stotra Srimad Bhakti-Vidanta Swami Maharaj ki jai. Nitilya Pravishta Vishnu Pada Stotra Srimad Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Goswami Maharaj ki jai. Nitilya Pravishta Vishnu Pada Stotra Shri Shri Bhakti-Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada ki jai. Nitilya Pravishta Parama Bhagavan Vara Shri Shri Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj ki jai. Nitilya Pravishta Shri Shri Satchidananda Bhakti Vinod Thakur ki jai. Nitilya Pravishta Vaishnava Sarvabhauma Shri Shri Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj ki jai. Shri Gauriya Vedanta Acharya Shri Shri Vardha Vidyabhushan Prabhu ki jai. Shri Vishma Chakri Thakur ki jai. Shri Narottam Srinivas Shamananda Prabhu ki jai. Shri Krishna Kaviraj Goswami Prabhu ki jai. Shri Rupa Sanatana Bhadrabanachi Ji Gopal Bhadas Saguna Sat Goswami Prabhu ki jai. Shri Sarupa Damodar Raya Ramananda Rishi Gaura Prasad Vinda ki jai. Namacharya Shri Haridas Thakur ki jai. Prem Sukho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasati Gaura Bhakta Vinda ki jai. Shri Antardeep Mayapur Shri Matdeep Godrumadeep Madhyadeep Koladeep Ritudeep Janu Deep Modra Drumadi Rudati Patmakar Shri Navadip Dham ki jai. Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopal Gopi Govardhan Dwaraj Vanat Makar Shri Vajmanda ki jai. Shri Radhakun Shamukun Ganga Yamuna Tlasi Bhakti Devi ki jai. Srimati Vrinda Devi ki jai. Shri Purnamasi Yoga Maya ki jai. Shri Gopishwar Mahadev ki jai. Shri Jagannath Baldev Subhadra Chakri Ji ki jai. Shri Shaitamanga ki jai. Sarva Vigna Vinashikari Shri Nrsimhadev ki jai. Bhakta Prabhash Prahalad Maharaj ki jai. चार धाम की जय,
जय
चार संप्रदाय की जय,
जय
चार आचार्य की जय, अक्रमत
जय
राज
जय
चेत कुमार की जय, शिशि
जय
केशव
जय
अमर उत सकमत सम की जय, ग्रंथराज
जय
श्रीमद
जय
भागवत की जय, श्री हरिनाम
जय
संकीर्तन की जय, अनंत
जय
कोटि
जय
वैष्णव वृंद की जय, सामगाट भक्त
जय
वृंद की जय, श्री निताई गौर
जय जय
प्रेमानंद हरि बोल।
हरि हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल धन्यवाद हरे कृष्ण हरे कृष्ण हरे कृष्ण so tomorrow we'll have Jaiva Dharma class, right?